Instead, followers met in private homes, where some heard gospels named for people that would surprise most churchgoers today.
Some used Philip, some used Thomas, some used the Gospel of Mary. Others used Matthew or Mark or Luke or John.
Some of the early Christians are now called Gnostics, or the people who know.
The Gnostics were mystics. That is to say, they were people that felt they could have some kind of direct access to God. The word Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge. But this kind of knowledge is not everyday knowledge. It is not book learning. It is insight. It is intuition. It is that ability to know something about yourself, to know that you have a spark of the divine inside of you, and to recognize the God that you profess to be, the God that is outside, is the same as that spark of the divine that is within you. And many of the Gnostics were Christians.
Gnostics are the people who wrote most of the texts known as the Nag Hammadi Library. Their stories about Christ are much more abstract and philosophical than those of the New Testament. One favorite was the Gospel of Thomas.
Kihi vasiliatu thiu entos human estikaktos hos an hefton noin taften hevrisi kiot humis heaftus nain susite etisite hoti hu este humis tu patros tut sontos.
When some of us were in graduate school and we first got to know these other Gospels, like the Gospel of Thomas, we were told, well, these are Gnostic, these are heretical, these are weird and strange. We were told that Gnostics means, people who are basically wrong. And this is sort of like in the 1940s and 50s in this country, you talk about the communists. And that's a way of dismissing them. So Gnostic is a term like that. They didn't call themselves that. They called themselves Christians.
Early church fathers fought against the Gnostics.
One of the difficulties that the Gnostics presented for people in the emerging Orthodox Church was the fact that Gnostics didn't need to have the advice and the control and the insight that came from the priests and the bishops. They had that insight in themselves, and that bothered the church leaders.